Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk, and guess who's with me? Yes, it's Ed Warren. Hello, Ed.
Yeah, you've kept me.
Kept you here. We're out on, this is part 2 of our Blackdown Hill exploration.
Yep.
And we're just sitting, having a little rest from our meanders from part 1 at this terrific view in front of us. That's what you can see, which basically goes on for miles westwards, isn't it?
Yeah, forever.
Tell us what you reckon we're looking at, Ed.
Well, we can see Butts Hill.
Yeah.
I can see the mast. There's I can't remember. It's a Navy training base
Towards Portsmouth.
towards Portsmouth. I can just about see the mast in the distance for that. And I think then we're looking out towards probably Winchester.
This is just one of the views that we're
Yeah.
making our way up to. What's it called?
Temple of the Winds.
Temple of the Winds, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as we make our way up there, I just wanted to mention that on top of here at Blackdown Hill, there was a signal back in 1797, I think it started operations until about 1810.
Yeah.
And this was a chain signalling system of semaphore
Yep.
from Admiralty House in London
Yep.
down to Portsmouth, just as we've been looking, and a number of the hills, including this, would have had a little tower.
You can see how you'll be able to see.
Yeah, that had a little tower, and so messages could be sent from Admiralty House down to Portsmouth during the Napoleonic. I always struggle with that word. I always want to say Neapolitan ice cream. I don't know why. Napoleonic Wars. So it was during that, and messages could be sent in about 18 seconds.
Quicker than a text, you said.
Almost quicker than a text, which is astonishing.
Just bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blow the flames.
As somebody who is very associated with this place is Alfred Lord Tennyson.
It is. Lord Tennyson, the poet.
Yes.
Who lived in the house. We parked up close to his house.
He's got a big house. He used to come here during the summer.
He used to walk to the Temple of the Winds every day.
Gosh. And composing his poetry.
And saying that he could see the sea, he reckoned. Which probably back then,
Yeah?
there wouldn't have been so many buildings, there wouldn't have been probably so many trees. So he could very well have seen the sea.
And yeah, I mean, and what a inspirational place
It's lovely.
this really is.
I mean, now you look across the bowl now.
Let's have a look. So we're looking again similar to that view, but we get more of the pine trees,
Yeah.
and then down into the other coppice trees beyond that.
And then so you're looking out at alternate observatories again, and
It's just
God knows how far we can see.
it's just wonderful. We're filming in February, and close to the beginning of spring now.
Yeah.
The gorse is just coming out in its yellow, and
they're
the
working
gorse and the heather is sort of getting ready.
Yeah.
We've seen cows,
Yeah, we've seen cows.
which
We've
are
seen
up here.
working cows.
Why are they up here?
I think to do man's work.
Yeah.
To keep the keep it tidy, keep it down, keep the gorse down.
Which is brilliant to see, that sort of old-fashioned stuff coming
Forestry
back.
cows.
Yeah, forestry cows.
It's nice to see actually.
We'll just gather in some of this terrific view as we make our way up to the Temple of the Winds. This is owned by the National Trust, isn't it?
Yes.
And managed and open to the public, which is fantastic, of course, so that people can get out and exercise. Very essential for them. And I imagine that it does get very busy up here.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's summer. The summer you get. We bring the
Pause.
dog. Yeah, we bring the dogs up and
There's no cafe or a place for a cup
No.
of coffee.
knock on someone's door. I'm
Yeah.
sure if you can find a house. But no, it's very secluded. I think that's why people like it.
Yeah. So we're following a map that you've printed out.
Yeah, we are
Is-
cheating a bit.
Is that from the National Trust website?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they give you some guided walks, because I imagine if you're not familiar with the area, you could quite easily get a bit lost,
Yeah. Oh, easily.
because there's lots of little
yeah, if you're not
paths.
familiar, I mean, if you're familiar, you can't
Yeah.
get too lost because
No.
you're just end up in a village.
Absolutely.
Out the way, but
Now we've come to a fork here, and there is one of these lovely trusty signs. Let's just show you the sign. We've got the Serpent Trail, it says there.
we're on the serpent.
Oh, we're on the Serpent Trail.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we're on a serpent trail because there's no snakes everywhere, but
Yeah.
it's this time of year. Not my favourite thing in the world.
No. Have you ever been bitten by a snake?
No.
No, I haven't.
I've only ever actually seen, in all the times I've been up here and live where I live, one adder in my whole life.
Right. Yeah, they're quite...
Grass snakes.
Grass
No.
snakes, a few?
But I think they get a few dogs bitten up here.
Do they?
Because obviously dogs just go cascading into the
Yes,
shrub.
they go belting after them.
I mean, I think actually, I do think, Richard, they tag the snakes up here as well.
Do they? They tag the snakes?
Some of them, yeah. I think just so they can keep an eye on breeding and obviously numbers. Yeah, that's...
Well, we'll press on towards the temple
We're close now, I think.
of the winds, and maybe we'll work out why it's called Temple of the Winds.
When we're blown off the hill.
Yeah, thanks. Ed, there's a sign here. That's a good thing, I think. Maybe it'll tell us something. Let's have a look. See what it says.
Temple of the Winds.
Temple of the Winds. Straight ahead.
Alfred Tennyson's favourite place.
And we're going to see why.
Yep, we're going to see why.
Let's lead on then, and have a look through these Scott pine trees.
Apparently a curved seat up here.
A curved
seat,
yes. It's a terrific place. You can imagine why. Particularly a poet, but anybody creative, and just anybody really who wants to relieve the stress of life, to come up here and gather this amazing view. What are we looking? Eastwards now.
Yeah.
Through this little bit of mud.
Home again now.
Across the Sussex weald.
There's your North Downs over the far side.
So on the left of the screen, Box Hill.
Box Hill, I think. Yeah.
Just coming up to it now. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go. There's your seat.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I can see why he thought it was his favourite place.
Do you know any of the poems that he composed?
I know he wrote one about here, but yeah, I know it ends in phase into grey. I might be able to find that for you. I can find it on my phone.
I wonder how many poems that he did compose here, and I guess, you know, for somebody of a literary nature could come here and read some of the poems that he may well have composed.
He said,
Ed's going to quote Lord Tennyson now.
Because I want to read Lord Tennyson. You came and looked and loved the view, long known and loved by me, green Sussex fading into blue with one grey glimpse of sea. Not much sea going on, Richard.
No, one rare glimpse of sea. It is.
Oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
Look through there.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Possibly, but you could probably see it. You won't be able to see it on the
other side of Sanctuary Ring, on the other side of the hills.
You see if you can get a picture of it. I'm going to have a look at his seat, or at least the seat that is here now, and maybe not have been his seat. This seat, it says here, was erected in memory of Mabel Elizabeth Hunter, wife of Edward W. Hunter, who gave Blackdown to the National Trust in 1944. And that was another point that I was going to mention. This had been, this hill and the grounds had been owned by many people until 1944, when W.E. Hunter gave it to the National Trust, and now of course it's open to everybody, which is... Oh, is this the curved seat? Oh yeah. So is this this is the actual curved seat? Oops. That's maybe. I don't want to fall down the hill here. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not so good at mountain rescue.
No, I'll come back up. Well, Ed, we've made it to the Temple of the Wind, and actually, not so windy. Not so windy. Probably protected from the trees, from the north wind and the west wind by the trees. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we are. Another interesting walk for you to go and try out if you can.
Definitely fun.
Thank you, Ed, for bringing me
Richard.
here. It's absolutely beautiful.
Pleasure.
And we're so lucky because it's a gorgeous sunny day and I'm warming up.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So until the next one, join us again and we'll see you then.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.